What's going on, everybody? I'm trying to make sure you can get a good shot of my sweatshirt. It says Jesus in therapy. Man, Jesus in therapy. I'm telling you, that right there is a dope combination. Jesus and therapy. Today, welcome to Q-Tips. I want to talk to you about community. Again, everything I give you here, I'm speaking on from my experience. And community has become something that I cherish. I cannot live without my community. I just can't do it. And towards the end of this, I'll tell you a story of how community can be effective and how it has been effective in my life and why I can't live without it. First, I kind of want to break down what community is. So community is a group of people living in the same place and having a particular characteristic in common. Also, it's a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. So that's community. Community is when you have characteristics in common with someone. It's when y'all have common goals and common attitudes. I talked about this a little bit. Hopefully you heard this one, but talk about your core. When you're working out, one of the things they want you to do is work out your core, strengthen your core, because everything is powered from your core. When we stand up, when we sit up, when we bend over, when we twist, when we turn, everything comes from the core. So you have to power your community from your core. You have to check your core beliefs. What are your core values? That's where you're going to power your community from. You want people that line up with the core values that you carry around with you every day. When you find people that line up with that, that's your community. Those are the ones that have they have characteristics that's in common characteristics, common attitudes, and that should be powered from your core. We'll talk about core in another Q-Tips, but the community is the people that's going to support your vision, that's going to support your dreams. But not only that, keep you in line, help you with tools and systems that will keep you in line, that will keep you in check. So community is major. Again, always said, I am a disciple of Jesus Christ, proudly. And in order to learn more about Jesus Christ, I go to his word. This is what the word says about community. It says, carry each other's burdens. In this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. Another way of saying is, share each other's burdens. And in this way, you obey the law of Christ. Another way it says, bear one another's burdens. So in that you fulfill the law of Christ. Community is supposed to bear burdens. Community is supposed to share burdens. Community is supposed to carry each other's burdens. That's the point of community. No one man is an island. Nobody should be by themselves. You need community. You need to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who share your core values. I'm going to tell you a story. I am recently divorced. I have a 16-year-old stepdaughter. She's my daughter. Been in her life since she was 1.5. We have this thing that we call a Friendsgiving. And Friendsgiving is where, my boy put it on, is where mostly couples come together, about maybe like 8 couples, and we share. We strengthen. It's a wide range of skill sets. There's therapists that's in this, mailmen, hey. There's doctors. There's entrepreneurs and business owners. It's a wide range of people with certain skill sets. And we bring all that knowledge and all that experience we bring to the community, and we support each other. So Friendsgiving, we bring some dishes, we cook, we have some wine, we have some whiskey, and we love on each other. We absolutely just love on each other and share with one another. For this particular Friendsgiving, as I told you, I just went through a divorce. So it's 8 couples there, roundabout. I'm the only single person there. I don't feel it at the time. Don't even realize it at the time because the community is so dope. But eventually it shows its head. So we're sitting there, we're laughing, we're having a good time. And my daughter texts me and she says, hey. And I said, hey, what's going on? How are you? She says, I'm okay. And instantly, I know everything's not okay. So I get on the phone and I call her, and she proceeds to tell me how she's frustrated with me. She's frustrated that I left. She's frustrated because some things that she's dealing with, she feel like I'm not there to support her. I asked her, I said, hey, how can I be a better father? She says, you can come back home. Tough conversation for a 16-year-old to have. But she had it very bravely. She had it respectfully. And it was very articulate. But it hurt. It was crushing me. I'm trying to work every system as I talk to her, every system that I know, empathy, listening skills, making sure she understands that, hey, I may not be there in the physical anymore as far as the day-to-day, the house, but I'm here. Like, we're not going to be like that anymore, but I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. So we talked for about an hour. My community downstairs, they cutting up. They hit me with a text like, yo, where you at? You know, and I'm like, hey, you know, my daughter's in crisis. We're talking. You know, she's putting some heavy stuff on me. She's laying it on me. So we talked for about an hour. By the time I got back downstairs, now the whole community is booed up. Everybody with their boo. The women sitting on the laps. You know, the women got their men hugged up from the back. One of the ladies is pregnant, so her husband is standing behind her, massaging her shoulders and rubbing her belly. Everybody booed up, and they answering questions about marriage. What gets you excited? What's your love language? Different things like that. And so I had to take a seat kind of on the outskirts. You know, like, hey, I ain't booed up no more. You know, and so I was cool though, you know, because I want to be married. I adore marriages. I was cool. And so the host of the party stopped everything. And he said, hey, he said, we got a special guest here. He said, we got Q here. He said, man, you know, he said, bro, I love you. He told me, and these are his words. I'm not boasting, I'm just telling you what he said. And he's going to watch this, so I'm not going to make anything up. He said, hey, you know, you preach a message without opening up your mouth, brother. And I'm like, wow. He was like, man, he was like, my life is better because you're in it. I'm like, wow. Nobody knows what I was upstairs doing. They just know I wasn't there. And so he says, man, I just feel in my heart that you need to address the crowd. Man, he didn't know, but I needed them more than ever. So I stood up and I said, man, I don't know what y'all expected me to say, but these are my words. I said, I need my community. And I started to cry. And I told them with my daughter, all the things that my daughter said to me. And this is the most beautiful thing. I am crying, bawling tears. I feel people holding me from the back, holding my shoulders and rubbing my back. But my eyes, I'm crying. I can't see clearly. Once I finally looked, it was the men. Man, I'm about to cry right now. It was the men that had my back. They were rubbing my back and holding me up. And then when I finished, the women took over affirming me, telling me all the things that I did right as a father. Some even saying they wish I was a father. They wish I was a father they never had. One even said, hey, I was your daughter growing up. The community affirmed me. They held me up. They had my back. I hate to be wrapping this up. It's getting dark. Hopefully y'all still can see me. If you can't see me, hear me. You need community. Community saved my life. If it wasn't for community, I would not be here. If it wasn't for community, I would have took my life. You got to surround yourself with people who are about your goals, who are about your well-being, who have the same attitude as you. You might have to check your attitude. Maybe your attitude is not conducive to where it is that you're trying to go. And if you keep surrounding yourself with people that ain't about that mission, that ain't about that work, that health, you're not going to go anywhere, because you are going to become who you are around. They have an old saying that say the same birds of the same feather flock together. It's a lot of truth in that. Your community is going to push you. Your community is going to hold you. Your community can literally save you. So community people, check into it. Check your community. Let's get going. Another Q-Tips. I love y'all.